shrimp. Do the pistol shrimp. Do the pistol shrimp. Do the pistol shrimp.
Welcome, everyone, to the Shrimply Good Podcast, episode 9, presented by Illinois Valley Cellular. It's another good Shrimply Good Podcast episode after a great Pistol Shrimp baseball week. So welcome into the podcast for everything Pistol Shrimp baseball. I'm Lucas Burris, your voice of Pistol Shrimp baseball. And alongside me is our utility man, who's been now podcast number 3 for Dom, but 2 straight. It's Dom Liacone now joining me on this wonderful week number 9 preview of the season for the Pistol Shrimp. How you doing, Dom?
I'm doing fine. I mean, when is it not great when you get 2 weeks of me in a row? So no, I'm kidding. But no, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me on, Lucas, again. And yeah, it was a great week for the Pistol Shrimp. Can't wait to recap it and see what's coming up as well.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. Pistol Shrimp played 4 times this week. But again, this episode brought to you by Illinois Valley Cellular, the official wireless provider of the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. And you'll hear a lot about them throughout today's episode as well. But let's get right into the action, Dom. Let's head into what happened this week in Pistol Shrimp baseball. And to start off the bat, our best week of the season, a 3-1 week from the Pistol Shrimp this week. Least amount of losses, most amount of wins, everything you could ask for in a week for the Shrimp. And it all started on Tuesday in a hot start at home in a win over the Burlington Bees 7-5 to begin a very hot week for the Shrimp team.
And that's exactly what the Shrimp needed, especially to start the week. I think that's huge when you can get that first win out of the way for the week. That kind of builds some momentum for you and your squad as you roll throughout it. But yeah, like you said, good 7-5 win over the Burlington Bees. Shrimp strike early. They get the big 2 runs in the first inning, and even though the Bees come back to tie it in the third, the Shrimp hold on to the lead, and they don't let go of it at all. They have a huge 4 spot that they put up in the 7th. And they out-hit the Bees, and that's been huge. The Shrimp have hit extremely well this week, and we'll talk about that as we go through the course of this podcast. But they out-hit the Burlington Bees 8-4 and get a huge win over them 7-5. And just some notables, I'm seeing here. Ogans had a double, so did Worthington, Coca as well, even Atkins. And Westenfeld and Gary Maynard both homers. So it was a great win for them, and Jason Shanner gets the win. So good start for the Shrimp this week.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a great start and a good jumping off point for this Shrimp team. There was highs and lows of this game, which I think is a great way to start your game, where you jump out to an early lead. The other team ties it up. They have a little late comeback on you as well, and you're still able to finish off the victory. I mean, the Burlington Bees scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to make this a close ball game, as it was 7-2 heading into the 9th. And that gave Justin Rios an opportunity to show off what he's been out of the bullpen this year, which has been very, very good for this Shrimp team. Came into the game needing 2 outs, got 2 strikeouts on 7 pitches and picked up the save for this team. But it was the bottom of the lineup for this Pistol Shrimp team that really made an impact in the game, with Maynard batting 9th and Westenfeld batting 6th, and both of them hitting a home run, both of them having 2 RBIs in the game. Like, that's just huge from the bottom of your lineup. And you're going to continue to get victories when you out hit your opponents and have a great starting pitching performance from your starter in Jason Shanner, who only gave up 2 runs in almost 4 innings of work on only 2 hits. So that's just it was a great jumping off point this week for the Shrimp. The North Central boys combined for a victory in this one. You go Shanner to start, Rios to close, and it's a good sign for what's to come. And the Shrimp had a good game in the second game of this week, this one on Wednesday. We were feeling good about ourselves and possibly looking at our first weekly sweep of the season, but we traveled to Burlington, and this team just hasn't been as good away from Veterans Park as they have been at Veterans Park this season. And it was a tough loss to the Burlington Bees in Burlington, 7-5 on Wednesday.
Yeah, like you said, the Shrimp seem a little homesick this year on the road. To say they clearly perform better when they're playing at Veterans Memorial Park, and they got the Shrimp fans behind them. But 7-5 loss, so we split the home and home with the Bees, kind of like reverse scores. The home team wins 7-5 in both of these games, and the Shrimp actually do again out hit the Bees here 8-6, but just unfortunately not able to get the win. And they do strike first as well, getting the 2 runs in the first, but the Bees just come back. We take a 3-2 lead after getting runs in the second and third innings. And then from there, the Bees went off in the sixth. They get 3 runs there. And then even though both teams get a run in the eighth, it's too much for the Shrimp to overcome, and they fall on this one. Only committing 1 error. This is what we've seen from the Shrimp this year. They've been a very good defensive team. I believe they're in the top 5 in the league for fielding percentage. They have been incredible there. So and also it's just some notables here. Atkins has a double. He also has an RBI. So does Sam Link and Dom Soto as well. Conklin gets the loss on the mound, and then Gray gets the win for the Bees. But yeah, I think what you're going to talk about here is just the defense for the Shrimp. It's been great this year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the big thing. I have talked about it multiple times in the broadcast this year. The Shrimp were first in the Prospect League in defense for the first 25 games of the season. They were very close to not having that many errors this season. Their most errors they have had a game this year is 5, and they did it in 3 straight games in a stretch of games 26 through 28. And that really dropped them down the leaderboards on the Prospect League fielding percentage, but they're still in the top 5. They're still a great defensive team, and they would be first in the league still without those 3 5-error games. That's the most they've committed in all other games this season. The most they've committed is 3. So it's such a good defensive team. And this game is really a heartbreaker because you out-hit your opponents. You scored first. But the pitching side of things, too, every pitcher had a very even outing. Clark went 2 1/3, gave up 3. Conklin went 3, gave up 2. Palmblad went 2 2/3, gave up 2. Like you're not upset with your pitching staff if each pitcher comes in and just you give up a run, maybe 2. Your offense just kind of has to keep up in that kind of game, and the Shrimp just kind of slugged down on the road. The momentum shifted to the other side, and it's just a tough loss. But that would be the final loss for the Shrimp this week. They played 4 games this week, 3 of them at home, and the only one they lost was the road game. So you can just chop this up to a homesickness, like you said, give them the benefit of the doubt there, and be excited for what they did the rest of this week, especially when the Lumber Kings came to town and they had a big victory over them, the Clinton Lumber Kings, who have been about a 500 team this season, a good quality opponent, a former Midwest League minor league baseball team. They come in, they beat the Lumber Kings 8-3 at Veterans Park, and it was just a great game for the Shrimp at home.
Yeah, it was, especially when you get Ryan Ironman on the mound doing his thing. 10 strikeouts, 5 2/3 innings pitched with 5 hits given up, as well as 2 earned runs. But that was clearly enough for the Shrimp as they take the victory here 8-3, putting up a 5 spot in the third. And that was huge because Damon Castillo went off with the bat. I believe he had 2 homers in this one, including a grand slam. So that was huge. A good breakout for him. And he has been phenomenal this week. And we'll keep talking about him as well. But a great win here, a good bounce back, especially from the loss on the road, coming back home to Veterans Memorial Park and getting your fan base behind you. So overall, this one is just a good win. You out-hit your opponents, you score first, you put up that huge inning that you get usually. Those are the 2 things on offense that you really want to do. You really want to try and score first, and you want to have that at least just that 1 inning where you score 3 or more runs to really kind of stop your opponents down to the ground, as well as just get that momentum on your side and give your pitching staff enough run support to work with. So good win for the Shrimp here, and they definitely carried this momentum going into the rest of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the keys to a game and every Pistol Shrimp victory this season, what they want to do the rest of the way. There's kind of 3 boxes you want to tick. You want to score first, you want to out-hit your opponents, and you want a quality start from your starter. Now, a quality start not meaning what the MLB qualifies as a quality start. Kind of, you want 4-5 innings from your starter, 3-4-run baseball. You're in every game at that point. If you can get 4-5 innings from your starter with only 3-4, even 5 runs isn't too bad in what we've seen this year. If you out-hit your opponents and you score first, this Pistol Shrimp team is very, very good if they score first and continue to tack, which is what they did exactly in this game. But it's that big 5-run third inning or a huge early lead is what you do. And this was what I'll call the Damon Castillo game. This game was pretty much over after the third inning. All the heads of the Lumber Kings dropped when Damon Castillo hit his second home run, which is a grand slam. You catch that momentum swing. It's an even game. You're coming in. It's a home game. You're coming in a little higher than their team. You score first. You're way higher. You hit a grand slam. You're up here. They're down here. Put your foot on the gas and keep going. That's exactly what the Shrimp did in this game. And Ryan Ironman struck out 10 batters. So what are you going to do there if you're the opposing team? But let's hop on to the final game of this week. So Shrimp coming in 2-1, looking to finish the week 3-1, and that's exactly what they did. They defeated the Springfield Sliders 14-0 at home on Saturday. After, I should mention, on Friday, excellent night on Friday. Before I hop into this, we did Halloween in July on Friday, one of our best theme nights of this year. I know a lot of people enjoyed it. One of our best turnouts on the fan wise as well. So thanks to the J. Hatt Family Foundation and Peru Federal Savings Bank for helping out on Friday and what they did there. It was a fantastic night, one of the best turnouts. The kids were so excited. We love seeing all the fans dressed up in that and continue to bring out the support. You know, it's kind of these games we had great support, as I'll get to on Saturday as well. The more support these players get, the more people in the stands, the more cheering that they hear. It's a lot of coming to the games, you know. It's all the appreciatory of coming to the game, spending your money, spending your weekends, your times, your nights with us, but supporting the players, making them hear you, making them see you just means the world to these college players who are not from the Illinois Valley, do not know you, and you're getting to know them. And I think that's a lot of what we do when we say players' names, when we talk to you about them. We're trying to inform you on what these guys are doing. A lot of people know who Ryan Ironman is. A lot of people know who Justin Rios is now too. We want to get you to know who will get here. We want you to know who Connor Sullivan is. We want you to know who Damon Castillo is, Gary Maynard, Keyshawn Ogans. Like, we want you to cheer on those guys as they come to bat. So it's just huge there. And we'll hop on over to Saturday now with the 14-0 Pistol Shrimp win on Craft Beer Night by Tango Roots Brewing Company. It was an excellent night as well. One of our first kind of adult theme nights of the year. And the Pistol Shrimp really showed out for the home crowd with this 14-0 victory.
This was a beatdown from the start. The Pistol Shrimp came to play over the Springfield Sliders, like you said, a 14-0 massacre over their fellow Illinois rivals. But holy cow, when you put up a 4 spot in the second, a 3 spot in the third, a 3 spot in the fifth, and a 4 spot in the sixth, I mean, this was a 7-inning slaughter. The bats were alive for the Shrimp. They out-hit the Sliders 12-4, including 4 home runs total from the team. And they went back-to-back at one point, and I believe also had a 3-homer inning. The Shrimp, there really isn't much more to say to the hitting side of this game besides the Shrimp went off, and there was a lot of pinch hitters and new guys that were coming to the lineup. John Jakovic rotating guys in, just getting everyone at bats, and everyone in the lineup was firing on all cylinders. And
let me make a point about that, Tom. We batted 14 people in this game. 14 Pistol Shrimp came to bat. 3 didn't make an impact offensively. 3 of the 14 batters did not record a hit, an RBI, or a run. That means 11 Pistol Shrimp batters either recorded a hit, an RBI, or a run in this game. And that is just crazy production from 14 men in your lineup.
Right. And you want to talk about hitting side of things. Connor Sullivan was absolutely phenomenal on the mound. He goes 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no earned runs, only 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. So he was absolutely dialed in there. And then Conklin and Damian White got the relief appearances, and they were great as well. They both won an inning to close this one out. So a great way to round out the week and go into a much needed off day. And the Shrimp definitely showed out, especially for the fans and at Veterans Memorial Park, and they needed it, especially on Craft Beer Night.
Yeah, absolutely. This Pistol Shrimp team pitching staff has looked really good as of late. And I want to hit on that. Evan Clark, who is probably the 4th start on this team, has looked great. But I want to talk about the 3-headed monster that's beginning to form on the top of this rotation. Connor Sullivan, Ryan Ironman, and Jason Shanner are 3 very, very good pitchers. 3 of your 6 games, you're expecting a lot. Evan Clark is beginning to come around as well. As this team makes the playoff push, which we'll talk about here in a second. It's going to be dangerous sailing. Not a lot of teams want to play this Pistol Shrimp team, especially in a 1-game playoff, because you know who you're going to face? Ryan Ironman. And then if you win that 1-game playoff, who are you going to face next? Either Connor Sullivan or Jason Shanner. You don't want to face either of those guys either, with a lineup stacked and that's hitting on all cylinders right now. So this team just looks so good. And hitting in this one to wrap off Saturday, home runs, 4 of them, all on the bottom 4 of this lineup too. Castillo, Durack, Soto, and Rios, who were batting 6, 7, 8, and 9, all hit bombs in this one. So just a great outing by the Pistol Shrimp in this one, a 14-0 victory. And you just can't say enough about how good this Pistol Shrimp team looked this week.
I couldn't agree more. The 3-1 finish, and coming into an off day on Sunday, I think it was much deserved for them. The best week of Pistol Shrimp baseball that we've seen all year, and it's exciting. Hopefully the Shrimp can make that last push here as we get into the final stretch of the season, the last 15 games or so of the second half, 30 games that we get into, and we'll talk more about the standings and how those work and how teams will make the playoffs. But if you're a Pistol Shrimp fan, you should be excited. Hopefully they get on a little bit of a roll here. We got a 2-game winning streak. Let's see if we can turn it into 3 or 4, maybe even 5. And you know that these guys, when Ryan Ironman says it, when the Shrimp are hot, they get hot. So this is an exciting team to watch right now, and all eyes will be on them for sure.
Yeah, the exciting part too is we play pretty much the exact same team next week. We literally do. We canceled our game on Thursday of this week versus the Corn Belters. It was canceled. We were supposed to play them. We're playing them again next week, making up that game and playing another one. We're playing the exact same teams we played this week next week. It's literally the same schedule. So it's a good sailing for this Pistol Shrimp team. But let's look at exactly where they stand right now. 15-29 overall this season. They continue to creep up there in that. But first half wasn't that good. We can forget about it because we're 5-9 in the second half now, and that's a great mark for this team to stand. They've played 14 games, 16 left, and they are right there in the division race in the Wabash River Division. They currently sit in 4th place, but they are not even, it does not look like a bottom of the barrel team is the best way to put it. The Aviators are going to run away with this division. They pretty much already have. They're 14-2 in the second half of this season. They have an 8-game lead over the Pistol Shrimp and a 7.5-game lead over everybody else. It's a tough team to beat. They have the best record in the entire Prospect League. They have the best record in the first half. They have the best record in the second half. It's a team who just stretches across wins over long periods. They go on long winning streaks, and they do really well. That Aviators team, just really good. But I like to mention one of their 2 losses this season in the second half is to the Pistol Shrimp. So that's what I was saying before, that 1-game playoff. But who the Pistol Shrimp are chasing right now is the Wabash Valley Rex. They currently sit in 2nd place in the division with a 7-8 record, and they are a game and a half ahead of the Pistol Shrimp. So that's it. You are a game and a half back of a playoff spot. The Danville Dans sit in 3rd. They have a 5-7 record, and they are only a game ahead of this Pistol Shrimp team. We'll face off against both those teams throughout the year or through the rest of the year as well, more than once. So that's immediately, you're only a game and a half back. You just sweep the season series against both these teams the rest of the way. And you have jumped them in the playoffs right then and there. So you're chasing 2nd place, and that's an exciting place to be for the Shrimp. And they're doing it by really improving on their season numbers. Their team batting average up to 246 on the season, good for 14th in the Prospect League, but that has jumped 8 points in the last week. And their ERA, which is now 10th in the Prospect League at 5.95, has dropped an entire run in the last week. So that's exciting for this Pistol Shrimp team as they move up the Prospect League leaderboards, which what you got to remember, 5-9 right now heading into the next week, and only a game and a half back of a playoff spot. But let's look at what is propelling this Pistol Shrimp team to such great lengths as of recent. Let's look at the Pistol Shrimp players in the top 25 of the Prospect League leaderboards. Let's start with batting, Dom.
So Blake Atkins currently in 24th in batting average, batting .313. He's also 20th in on base percentage with a .429 on base percentage. So he's been doing good there. Damon Castillo tied for 7th in home runs with 8, and definitely those 3 this week helped jump him up there on that leaderboard. Keyshawn Ogans is tied for 19th in home runs with 6. Colton Coca, this is a stat you love, and I keep saying it. This is the 3rd episode in a row I've said you love this stat, because you don't stop talking about it. It's Colton Coca with 9 hit by pitches. That's good for 3rd in the Prospect League. So that'll be interesting to see if he can actually jump up to 1st. I don't know who's in 1st right now. How many hit by pitches is he back?
12. He's 3 back of the leader.
Okay.
But the exciting part this week is the next 2 players on this list, Dom. Look where they rank in my favorite category.
Oh, there you go. Blake Atkins tied for 8th in hit by pitches with 7. So is Will Worthington. And then Andy Nelson doing it on the base pass with the speed. He's tied for 5th in stolen bases with 14. The speedy outfielder we have. You can also do it on the mound as well. So all these guys have been making huge contributions at the plate as well as on the base paths. And let's see if that can help us out to make a late playoff push here.
Yeah, Colton Coca 1 hit by pitch this week to keep him in the top 5 or top 3 in hit by pitches. But Blake Atkins and Will Worthington had 3 and 2 respective hit by pitches this week, which is just so exciting to see them just jump up those leaderboards. And Will Worthington is a man I can see who might uh, challenge Colton Coco for that top spot on his team because he crowds the plate. He takes a lot of hit by pitches. He rarely gets out of the way. Blake Atkins, 3 hit by pitches this week were all curveballs that just didn't curve and hit him right in the back. So I think that's exciting to see this Pistol Shrimp team continue to play that gritty baseball that you see, the stolen bases, the hit by pitches, and his team not afraid to bunt. Will Worthington, one of those people who do that as well. But the pitching side of things, we know where this is going. Let's look at the pitching leaderboards. The Pistol Shrimp players in the top 25. Ryan Ironman. I could just stop there, but I'll tell you where he is. He's first in inning pitches with 53 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's first in strikeouts with 92. He has 35 more than the next closest. He is first in wins with 7. Everyone else who's close, there's a 3-way tie with 6. Ryan Ironman is first in ERA with 1.68. That is a run and 116 less than the next person. He is under a run, close, like less than the next person. That's insane that he is averaging less than that. And also batting average against, he's first in the prospect league with a .32 batting average against. The next closest has an above 200 batting average against him, which is a good mark if teams are only hitting 200 against you. But Ryan Ironman only allows teams to hit 130 against him. He's just been so good this year. Still leading the prospect league in 5 categories, and he's coming close to breaking a lot of these records in the prospect league in a few of these categories. He is 2 starts away from breaking the record or tying the record of 9, which is the most amount of starts in a season. He is 17 strikeouts away from breaking the prospect league record of strikeouts in a single season. And the number of wins in a single season is 8. So he is 1 win away from tying it, 2 wins away from breaking it. ERA leaders and batting average against leaders are a little weird in that sense. It's difficult to understand because the ERA leader in the prospect league is like 0.5. And I don't know if that was a qualified stat or if someone threw like 10 innings one year and just had a 0.5 ERA, but he's not going to break that. I'm more looking at the strikeout number and the win number for Ryan Ironman and see if he can break those this season. He's well on his way to doing so.
I mean, yeah. You just quickly, if there's like a prospect league Cy Young award, I mean, Ryan Ironman's your shoo-in, right? I mean, he has been absolutely phenomenal. This is still 5 categories he's leading in, and he's been a major reason why the Shrimp have had success while he's pitching, because they know that they don't need too much run support when Ryan Ironman's on the mound, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the big thing too. And that's why I was talking about that 1-game playoff. I think we'll continue to return to this. That's what the Pistol Shrimp are staring down right now. If they can make this playoff push, a 1-game playoff with Lafayette. And I think that's really exciting to see the best pitcher in the prospect league is on your team. When you talk about getting into the playoffs like that, what do you want? It's good pitching. And this team is beginning to set themselves up for something like that, led by Ryan Ironman. But Dom, do you hear that noise? There's an alarm going off. That's a merch alert, Dom. That's a merch alert. We got a merch alert here.
Yeah, we got a merch alert.
That means we have some merch news for you. A limited number of dry fit orange t-shirts and Adidas black flex fit hats are available for sale. $30 each wherever you can buy Pistol Shrimp merch, online, at the game, or at both our vendors, the Locker Room and That Guy's Secret. We also have souvenirs. Silicone pint cups with the Pistol Shrimp logo. They're tie-dye. They're really cool. They come with a lid. They are $15 and includes a first fill up on us at the games. Cups are dishwasher safe and microwavable. So that's really hot. That's really cool. They hot and cold drinks. We also have sublimated gaiters in black and white. I have worn mine at the start of the year. The players wear them, and you don't have to wear it like a face mask. That's kind of the reasoning behind it. Everyone was wearing gaiters for the pandemic with the face mask, but as we begin to loosen and not wear as many face masks as we used to, there's a lot of things you can do with these very, very nice gaiters. We call them the Rolls Royce of gaiters. They're just great material. They're $15 each. They're great for traveling if you're going to the airport because you still have to wear a mask in the airport. The players wear them as headbands. They use them as rags. And Logan Delgado uses it as a do-rag, which is just, that's one of my favorite ways to use it. So you can use it however you want. It comes in black and white. You can find that wherever our merch is sold as well. There's a special sale. This is pretty much the merch alert right here. The special sale on DuPage logo branded items at the field this week. So our old logo with the DuPage Pistol Shrimp T-shirts just $5. Hoodies and crew neck sweatshirts are $15. We're trying to get rid of all of our old DuPage merch so we can not think about it anymore. We're going to let you buy it for a cheaper price, and then we're going to make sure we continue to stock up on all the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp merch. We also have silicone bracelets, which are like the Live Strong bracelets. I usually wear one. I don't have one on right now. Youth and adult sizes. Those are $2 each. They're Pistol Shrimp. And make sure you buy a new program every game. This is a big thing that we want to continue to talk about. We've been announcing it at the games. We do the lucky number every game. We have 3 different lucky numbers from 3 of our 3 great sponsors from us, I should say. And they're all good values. One's a Starbucks gift card and a souvenir bat. One is a insulated tumbler that you can use for coffee or cold drinks. And one is a Clear Gear disinfectant spray bottle, which is it's just disinfected and it's very good disinfectant, one of the top of the brand disinfectants. And we also have the lucky number, not for the program wise, we have that car wash every time, which is a great thing as well. Things we give away at the game. But program wise, we continue to put into games different kind of lucky numbers, special lucky numbers each game. And you'll see a lot of them as we go through what's coming up this week. But make sure you're buying a new program at every Pistol Shrimp game. It's only $1. It's 1 claw chip. You can buy as many as you want. But the big thing there that you all have to remember is that one program is 1 entry into every lucky number that night. We draw from the stack of programs that we put out for that night. It's all the lucky numbers come from there. So once that game is over, your program from before is no longer, it's still a program. It's a great program, but it's no longer a lucky number program. So make sure you come to the game, just have 1 claw chip, buy a program, make sure you're entering in every time. That's why it's only 1 claw chip. It's the same thing. Just get it for the lucky number. And also there's a scorecard in every program as well. And that's why we want to buy it. So you can buy it, look for your lucky number, pull your scorecard out, score the game off the program. It's a great thing to do. Just make sure you're buying a new program at every game and entering into those lucky number giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, as the siren is well gone, but we're going to pretend it just dimmed because that's what popped in my head at that moment. But it's time for the Shrimply Good Podcast fan question of the week. This is the 3rd time doing this. We've already given away a Grand Bear Resort prize pack. Now, last week we gave away a platinum car wash from Mr. Sparkle Auto Spa. We're going to announce the winner here right now of that, and then introduce you week 9's Shrimply Good Podcast fan question of the week. So, like I said, last week's prize, a platinum car wash from Mr. Sparkle Auto Spa. The question we posted on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's this video. You can see it. It shows that's the fan question of the week. The sponsor logo pops up. We give you the question and we tell you what the prize is. So last week it was, who goes hard 90 down the first baseline at all times? And remember, the Shrimply Good question of the week is based off something that we say. So me and you were laughing about Justin Rios going down the line really hard last week. So that's what we said. So the answer to this question was Justin Rios. And I have my wonderful basket of things with people's names in it, of people who answered the question correctly. And we will pull from our wonderful bag of names to figure out who we will have here.
Drum
And
roll.
I got one. You got the drum roll for me. Okay.
Drum roll.
Today's or this week's episode 8's fan question of the week winner for the Mr. Sparkle Auto Spa Platinum Car Wash is Jordan Thomas. So make sure that you send us a message on Facebook, Jordan, and claim your prize. Message Pistol Shrimp Baseball on Facebook to claim it. And then this week, we will have another Pistol Shrimp prize for the Shrimply Good Podcast Fan Question of the Week, episode 9's question. This will be a promo pack from Illinois Valley Cellular, the wonderful sponsor of this episode 9 Shrimply Good Podcast. They will give us a drawstring bag with lots of surprises, including a very good amount of claw chips. I'm not going to tell you the exact amount of claw chips, but I will tell you it is more than 15 in this wonderful bag of promo pack prizes from Illinois Valley Cellular. So that is what you can win this week. Remember, if we say your name to claim your prize, send us a message on social media. Easiest way to do it is probably Facebook. We'll tell you how you do it and you'll claim it. So make sure you're listening in to what we're saying and we'll post it. And if you were listening, you'll be able to tell what the fan question is this week, keep an eye on our social media pages. We'll post it all the same places, all the same kind of video for the Shrimply Good podcast, episode 9 fan question of the week. And now that the merch alert and the fan question of the week are behind us, Dom, let's look into what's coming up this week in Pistol Shrimp baseball.
Well, let's do that. First, on Tuesday, July 20th, we'll be at Springfield, where the Sliders will host us for a 6:35 p.m. start. The Sliders in the second half are 6-9. They are 3.5 games back of first in that division. But, we're coming off a big 14-0 win. So, like we were talking about with the momentum, let's see if we can continue our success that we had against them last week and carry it into this week. And then on Wednesday, we are at the Burlington Bees for a 6:30 p.m. start. The Bees this season are in fourth in the West's Great River Division. They are 7-9, 3 games back of first. They're actually tied with the Corn Belters for third place right now. And the Corn Belters already have a playoff spot
are playing for nothing.
Secured.
So
Excuse me.
They're enjoying their second half. So yeah, Burlington looking for a playoff spot as well. All of these teams, except for the Corn Belters, who will play on Friday, and you'll get to, are vying for playoff spots still.
Right. And then Thursday, I believe you said that game was canceled.
That was last Thursday.
Oh, that was last Thursday. Excuse me.
Last Thursday, we canceled against Normal, so we'll play a doubleheader with them on Friday, which you'll see here. But this Thursday, the 22nd, is a big day for us. It's the Burlington Bees coming to town again. We played them last Tuesday, 7:05 p.m. start time, and German Fest at the ballpark. Lots of exciting stuff. We'll talk all the stuff that's happening at German Fest once we finish what the games this week are.
And another, just like last week, we'll do a home and home with the Bees. So this one will be a 7:05 start right here at Veterans Memorial Park. Again, like you said, like Lucas said, it'll be German Fest. We'll touch on that more. Friday is a doubleheader. It's the Battle of I-90 I-39, excuse me, as you like to call it, where we will be hosting the Normal Corn Belters for a 4:30 p.m. and 7:05 p.m. start. It's Beach Bash presented by Illinois Valley Cellular. So look out for that. That's probably one of the more anticipated theme nights we've had all year. It's going to be a fun one. So bring your family out to that. And then finally on Saturday, we will wrap up the week on July 24th, where we host the Clinton Lumber Kings at 7:05 p.m. at Veterans Memorial Park. That's Wally, the Wallaroo Night presented by CSC, and we'll talk more about that as well. But like you said, this is a very similar schedule to the opponents that we played last week. So let's see if the Shrimp will continue their success. Let's see if they can make this push, and playing the same opponents that we were able to go 3-1 against. I think that the Shrimp, especially John Jackmick and his guys, are very confident in what they can be able to do this week.
Yeah, toughest matchup this week. And if you look at quality of opponent, Normal Corn Belters, we play them twice since we didn't play them last week. But we beat all of these teams other than the Corn Belters once last week. We split it with Burlington. To better that, you'd like to win both games against Burlington this week. And then you can do the same thing against the Sliders, and the Lumber Kings pick up a victory. But 3 theme nights this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think is the exciting part. Let's talk about those, Dom. We'll start with Thursday for German Fest at the ballpark, 7:05 p.m. start time for that game. But make sure you get to the ball game early for all the festivities that's going on. Most of the time we say about 6 p.m. is a great time to show up to the ball game. We start to open stuff up around them. 6:30 is when stuff starts to happen on the field, pregame festivities on the field. Sometimes we have free game festivities outside the field as well, as the Hocus Pocus Hags performed at 6 p.m. on Friday of last week, which was just so exciting. So make sure you step out to the ballpark early this week. But on German Fest, the big thing that you got to know is you don't have to wait for Oktoberfest for German fun. The Pistol Shrimp bring it to you in the middle of July. So get out your lederhosen and head on over to a Pistol Shrimp game on Thursday. The Right Spice will be serving up lots of German food, including a Hagerschnitzel plate, which is breaded pork cutlet with mushroom gravy served with lots of German sides, including German potato salad for $12. And those sides will also be available just for purchase for $4. And they'll also have brats for $6. So the right spice will be there. We will also have German beer for sale at the beer tent, in addition to the normal Miller Lite, Coors Light, and Tango Roots products that we serve. So make sure if you like some German beer, you step on over to the beer tent as well. Look out for a special cocktail that night as well. We'll have a German themed cocktail that'll be made with mango and fruit juices along with vodka. We will also have German games and activities throughout the night on the field for the kiddos, and maybe some adult themed ones as well. And big news, Proof Federal will be giving away another $100 cash prize as a lucky number. So buy lots of programs and get your chance to win $100. If you think about it, back to the lucky number idea, if they're giving away $100, you could buy 10 programs for $10 and you would still win $90. I mean, we're going to hand you $100 if you win. So in your mind, it's still just $100 being handed to you, no matter how many programs you buy. So you do the math on how many entries you want to get in to win a $100 prize. And the Pistol Shrimp will also be recognizing LaSalle Major League Girls Softball that night. They just finished in second place in the state over this weekend. So they're going to join us at the game for German Fest. We'll recognize them on the field before the game. So make sure pretty much you're there by 6:30 to see their recognition as well. That is German Fest taking place on Thursday. Let's check out Friday, Dom. What we got going on for Ivy Sailors Beach Bash?
Well, the first 50 fans who actually check in Ivy Cell's booth will get a free Pistol Shrimp pair of sunglasses. So that's always exciting to keep growing your merch collection for all things Pistol Shrimp. There will be a limbo contest and other fun beach games in between innings for the kids. I'm sure we'll, like you said, with Germanite, I'm sure we'll find some kind of adult game in between innings as well. There will be loaded Hawaiian punch, which is a cocktail served with a special umbrella straw as well. There will be special lucky number giveaways and more. And you can even dress for the beach theme in your best tropical tank or Hawaiian shirt. There's also a bounce house for the kids that is free. So make sure you bring the kiddos out and they can have some fun in the bounce house. I'm sure we'll have that down the right field line, I would assume.
That is usually last time we set it up next to the beer gardens right behind home plate. So make sure you look at that.
We also will have a new food vendor, Pepper Pal's Mobile Kitchens. They will be serving steak tacos and lime shake-ups with watermelon, lavender, or cherry. And then joining us that night will be Jessica Strouch from State Farm Insurance. So make sure you come out on Friday night. Beach Bash presented by Illinois Valley Cellular.
Yeah, so that's a double header that night too. So first pitch for game one, 4:30 p.m. We'll do 2 7-inning games that night. So it shouldn't be too late of a night because we'll start the second 7-inning game hopefully about 7:30. So it should be just about as normal. You can show up for just game two, if you're worried about the time and everything, but show up as soon as you can for the Pistol Shrimp game. We're starting early at 4:30 on Friday. And that limbo contest, if you want to be involved with it, it's going to take place on the field throughout both games. So make sure you get there early. We're going to sign people up for the limbo contest. We're going to do it on the field throughout, and we'll do the championship on the field during game two. So we'll do a lot of the beginning rounds in game one, and we'll do the championship for game two. That limbo contest, I'm very excited for. Let's see how low some of these people can go on Friday. But let's look at one of the most anticipated nights of the year for Pistol Shrimp baseball, Wally the Wallaroo Night, presented by Can-Am Steel Corporation, or CSC, on Saturday night. It's 7:05 first pitch there, but you're going to want to get there early. Buy a program at the gate to benefit Habitat for Humanity, as we will be specially honoring Wally the Wallaroo that night. There'll be another bounce house for kids. And remember, the bounce house is always free for kids, so don't worry about paying. We're just going to have it set up. There'll be somebody working it, and we'll be very excited to let your kid jump in the bounce house. South Claus Sam might have a special friend joining him that night as well. It might be the namesake of the night. Who knows? But make sure you're there to see South Claus Sam and his friends. There'll also be a $100 prepaid Visa gift card lucky number from CSC giveaway, just like Proof Federal giving the $100 cash prize. We'll do another $100 this time prepaid Visa card from CSC. And the team will be unofficially playing as the Peru Wallaroo that night. It's going to be very exciting, and that's a thanks to the city of Peru and every one of a wonderful fans who have welcomed us to the Illinois Valley this summer, and specifically in Peru at Veterans Park. So it's going to be the Peru Wallaroo on Saturday night instead of the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp, and that's very exciting. We'll also have a special cocktail for the night, a Wally Whammer, which will have you jumping higher and faster than Wally himself. New food vendors, the same one as before, Pepper Pal's Taco Truck, serving chicken and beef tacos, along with some pretzel bites, so make sure you're excited for that. And joining us that night will be Tanker Roots for free tasting, the Illinois Valley Chamber of Commerce, and the City of Peru Parks and Rec Department. It's just going to be one of the most anticipated nights of the year as we thank Peru for helping us and the entire Illinois Valley for welcoming us into what has been just a great year so far. And as you all know, Wally the Wallaroo hops on through our social media pages and our hearts late last year. And now we're going to namesake him as the Peru Wallaroos on Saturday night. So make sure you're coming out of the ballpark every night this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Only time it's not 7:05, 4:30 for a doubleheader on Friday. That's everything that's going on in Pistol Shrimp Baseball this week. Let's hit our last segment of the podcast, Dom. Let's talk about the Shrimply Good Players of the Week. I'll let you start and name your first Shrimply Good Player of the Week.
My Shrimply Good Player of the Week, Lucas, this week is going to be Connor Sullivan. I said Colin. Yep, I was getting there. Connor Sullivan, 1-0 this week, 5 innings pitched. We talked about him earlier, had a phenomenal performance against the Springfield Sliders in that blowout victory for us. But like I said, 1-0, 5 innings pitched, only gave up 4 hits, only gave up 1 walk, no runs, 5 Ks, a .222 batting average against, and a 0.00 ERA to round it out. A great week for Connor Sullivan, and part of that 3-headed monster that the Shrimp have in their starting rotation with him, Shanner, and Ironman. Can't wait to see what he does to wrap up the season here for the Shrimp, and he had an absolutely dominant performance to help us to a huge blowout win to wrap out the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Connor Sullivan looked great on the mound. Our first pitcher not named Ryan Ironman, who's a Shrimply Good Player of the Week. And now we'll send it on over to Damon Castillo for our second Shrimply Good Player of the Week. Damon Castillo, just a fantastic week at the plate. He played in 3 games. He scored 4 runs. He hit 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, a .571 batting average, and a 1,857 slugging percentage. Damon Castillo tore the cover off the ball this week, and he will get his second Shrimply Good Podcast Player of the Week nod. Shrimply, these players were too good this week, and that's our Shrimply Good Players of the Week for episode 9 and week 8. I'm glad you joined us for another edition of the Shrimply Good Podcast. We hope to see everybody at the ballpark Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this coming week for some Pistol Shrimp Baseball. Remember, if you can't make it to the game, you can catch every Pistol Shrimp Baseball game on Prospect League TV, the only way to watch outside of the ballpark. And thank you for stopping by another edition of the Shrimply Good Podcast. This episode 9, presented by Illinois Valley Cellular, the official wireless provider of the Illinois Valley Pistol Shrimp. Fear the claw, and we'll see you next week.
Do the pistol shrimp. Do the pistol shrimp.